4 podcasts in and Abby's just comfy. Dude. She's just at home now.
She's over there making mouth noises.
Yeah, first she was a little shy.
I was not shy.
You were.
What?
Now you're fucking.
Absolutely not. I don't get shy.
I believe that.
Do you
She's
believe that?
she's a little quiet.
I think you're shy.
You think I'm quiet?
I think you're a little shy.
No, I
You
think
were.
you're.
God.
I think
You
you're
were.
loud as fuck, but I think you're
I
shy.
I think I talk a lot.
Yeah, when you know someone.
When I know,
Mhm.
no.
Well,
Yeah.
this guy got named Silent Mike.
Yeah, 'cause I'm the same way.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
And it wasn't ironic when it
No.
when the name was given. So.
No, it's still the truth too. If I'm around people I don't like for one, or I don't know, yeah, I'm super quiet. I observe for sure. I think you're like that. I had to open you up when you started training here. Hey, you know, who's your coach? Hey, what are you doing? Oh, you compete. Oh, you just come in here and mean mug us, throw us the bird, and like bend our bars. Yeah,
Intimidating.
Sorry, I came here to train.
yeah, it was crazy.
Very
What a
intimidating.
crazy concept.
Yeah, it was pretty wild.
Interesting.
I didn't know saying hello to me and Kyle would be an issue in your training.
I just didn't want to bother you.
Well, I'm twiddling.
We're
my
just sitting
thumbs.
there, just
Yeah.
like chilling. Like,
We have I have
like, hey.
we have
You're like-
signs on our head that say "Please say hi to us."
No.
We're lonely.
Yeah,
I
pretty
don't
We
know.
spent a whole pandemic here by ourselves.
Fuck, you're
Bro,
Oh,
some
yeah,
mornings here, I literally cried by myself. Why are you laughing?
dude. That's not funny. That's serious.
Hilarious.
I'd be sitting at the desk, and it'd be like,
This is
What
vulnerability.
a loser.
it'd be like 5:50 in the morning, you know, and we have like 2 people in here, and then they'd leave, you know, they'd leave around 6, and it'd be like 7:00. I'm looking at the clock.
Just let the tear starts flowing.
7:30, no one's here.
Well,
8 o'clock, I check my bank account. 8:30, I realize my life savings in these walls. 8:45, there's no one in here,
Yeah.
and then just icicles stuck underneath my face. It was so
Yeah.
cold I couldn't even cry.
Lather,
It was a tough-
rinse, repeat.
Yeah,
tough
my
time.
my eye ducts
Every day.
froze.
when was that?
A year and a half ago.
How are you feeling now? You get to cry at home at 8:30
Yeah, now-
in the morning from your comfy.
Yep.
From your comfy.
Now
bed.
I have a big cup of coffee at my desk, feet up, and I'm crying.
And now I'm here.
I think
at
you'd rather cry
6,
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
7 in the morning.
Are you crying?
Yeah, at the front desk,
Crying of happiness
hugging the heater.
because we adopted you.
But the reason you're here is a good thing, though.
No, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Versus like you just sitting there and you're like,
Yeah.
all right, well.
I will just say this once and once only.
Oh,
and
no.
Not get into it.
Say it.
But I've definitely been happier since working here.
Oh, tell us
gotcha,
more about
ass,
it.
dude.
Tell us
Alright,
more
cut that
about
out.
it.
Good, we're cutting your pay. No.
Tell us
We're
more
gonna use that
about
against
it.
Takes the
dude.
bonus,
No.
takes the bonus back.
Yeah, money can't buy happiness.
So let's see if you're really happy.
That is
Because
See
so
how happy you are.
That is the
Thanks,
cutest
Abby.
thing ever.
I hope we're a part of that.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, okay.
100%.
Apart as 2
Yeah.
words, not apart as one
Yeah,
word.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
we're
true,
separate
true.
from it.
No,
Yeah,
it was just
yeah.
a coincidence.
Yeah,
Just
just
like-
timing.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
So we're here with Abby
Hello.
and Kyle, and the thing I wanted to do today, we actually had something else scheduled yesterday and didn't come together. So we're doing this today, but this was a part of a conversation we were going to have anyway as part of a staff meeting, which we will continue still to have. However, at this time of year, a lot of podcasts, a lot of TV shows, a lot of whatever talk about resolutions, and I fucking hate resolutions. Number one, because they don't motivate me personally. Resolutions are, I'm just going to read this, a statement of what you want to change, and I don't think that, I mean, people either make a change or they don't make a change. I don't know. I mean, plenty of resolutions don't get past the declaration phase, right? Our conversation was supposed to be kind of about goals, and goals are, you know, obviously what you want to achieve during a period of time. And at this time of year, it would be really natural to say what you want to achieve in 2023. However, I don't really want to do that either because it's a cliche as well. What I want to do is to say, how do those goals factor into what you want your story to be?
Ooh, the legacy.
Yeah.
To ramble a little bit more on resolutions, every year I go back and forth, and I've probably been verbal on the internet and in my head on my take on them, because one year I'm like you, I'm like, that's kind of stupid, like if you're gonna change today, and then another time, like business wise, it does make sense because it's literally a new year, so it's a new tax year,
right.
so like there's like applicational and logistical things that make sense to set new goals, new budgets, et cetera, et cetera. But then even personally, like sometimes you just do need a date. And obviously not to like gatekeep or get on like my high horse, but like I lift weights every day. So me setting fitness goals for the new year is a little different than the person that sits on their couch and eats Cheetos all day and be like, oh, diet starts Monday. Well, like I'm not doing that, but I have new goals for the new year also. So I think, all of it just depends on your execution. Yeah. Right, execution is everything. I was thinking about goals, and we can definitely dive into the legacy thing because that's a really good and deep question that I can't answer. So I'll ramble until I come up with an answer. And we talked about it in the meeting, like goal setting, I think is so personality based, kind of like how I coach like nutrition or lifting or kind of anything. Is like if you're the organized type, and that's how you get through life well. If you're very productive when you make a list and you literally have it in your pocket or your phone and you check it off every day, like, oh, fed the dog, oh, ate my meal, oh, went for my walk, oh, did dishes. If you're that type of person, then like very traditional goal setting probably would work really well for you, right? You get a macro goal, then you set it down to 6 months, then you set it down to a month, and then you set down like, all right, every day, what do I need to do to reach that goal? I'm not that person. I don't have to-do lists in my phone. I have like broad ones in my phone, and then the day-to-day ones, I just build a routine and habit and do them. But each person's so different when it comes to that. And then the other thing I thought of like in my past, and I didn't know exactly where this episode was going, but I know we were talking goals, and I thought Avi and Kyle would be good too to see, athletically at least, is just the most black and white one to describe how you got success. Like Kyle obviously played pro sports. Avi's now crushing the powerlifting game as a pro powerlifter. Because I think the outside world thinks that all those people have all these like flow charts and schedules and like goals, but like all the athletes I've hung out with never really did. And even for myself, like I would set goals, and some of them made sense, like I had broke them all down, but sometimes like they were just made up, but they ended up being good. So like little ones, like my junior and senior year of basketball, I was the best player on the team probably. Junior year that we had a really good shooting guard too. But beside the point, I was a captain all those years, 3 years in varsity. And so I set a goal that I wanted to be the first one on the ground every game, and I wanted to bleed every game. And so like I never really thought about why that deeply, but like in hindsight, it's because I wanted to lead from the front. Like if I want all my teammates to get on the ground for a ball, then I'm, as a captain and the point guard and the star and all this shit, I should probably get on the ground first. And so I was like, all right, and if I bleed every game, they know that I'm doing this for them. Like, I'm not bleeding for fun. Bleeding doesn't show up on the stat line. Bleeding doesn't get me an MVP. Bleeding doesn't do shit besides show my team, like, I'm diving into this fucking bleacher to get this one possession that may or may not matter. And so, like, that's how I kind of set goals, or similar one when we first started. I think we were, like, 4 months into the podcast. I remember I'm sitting on the ground in Cleveland. I think we, like, kind of celebrated Christmas, but my aunt had passed. So we were just, like, hanging out in Cleveland around holiday season. Maybe it was beginning of Jan or something. And I just remember sitting down like, fuck, dude. You know, so much chaos is going on. And I'm really quiet around my family, too, speaking of silent mic. And I was just sitting there and like, man, I need to, like, turn, like, my life around somehow. And not that I wasn't fucking up, but I'm 22 or 21 and, you know, nothing's really happening. I was like, all right, I'm going to post on Instagram every single day. I was like, I don't care what's going on. I don't know. And that's before people were doing this social media marketing, right? We're talking 2011, 2012. This is before people have strategies to grow your Instagram. This is before people were making money on Instagram. I think Instagram was a thing in like 2010, was like invented.
I got my first iPhone like 2012.
So this is this is brand new. And I just sat down. I was like, I'm going to post on Instagram every single day, and I'm going to go and like a bunch of like powerlifting content every single day. And I did that. And that wasn't, you know, again, working back, like, 2015, I want to have a 6-figure company that coaches people, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to... It was just like, I know this is probably going to lead somewhere.
Like, I just want to post a picture.
And it's going to do something. And that's kind of how I was in basketball and stuff, too, but I'm interested, maybe before we go into, like, 2023 legacy shit. You know, like, powerlifting could be simple. Like, all right, I'm not going to miss a workout. I'm going to hire a coach, and I'm not going to miss a workout. Like, it doesn't have to get fancier than that. Doesn't. If you do those two things, chances are you can get really fucking strong, and you could potentially be the best in the world if everything lines up, right? Just having a coach and just not missing a workout.
Do you think ever, like, setting a goal could lead you in the wrong... Like, setting a goal in the wrong way could lead you in, like, the wrong direction?
I think setting a goal maybe for the wrong intention. I think if you set a goal maybe for the wrong intention... where like my, again, the references I only have are like me in sports, but like me diving on the ground wasn't so I could get the hot cheerleader to think I'm dope. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to bleed and these bitches are going to think it's sick.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm going to bleed because then my team's going to bleed. Right? Like the only way I can get this guy who's soft to dive on the ground is to see me dive on the ground 100 times. I'll dive on the ground 100 times to get this guy to do it once because that's going to allow us to win.
But also the bitches will think it's sick.
I also was the man. Yeah, I was also the man. You're right. So I think like, in reference to that, like, oh, I'm a big fan of Russ Swole. I want to be the 83 kilo world champion because I see that he drives a Land Rover. Oh, so you want to get a Land Rover, and then we're hop, skipping, and jumping over here to try to deadlift 770 pounds. Shout out to Russ, absolutely crushing Korea, by the way. Like that, right? That's like bad intentions.
Yeah.
I think it's fine intentions if you're like, I want a Land Rover. Okay, that's a fine intention. Who am I to judge your morals of what's cool or not? But then like build your path to get a Land Rover.
Right.
Right? Don't like try to weirdly follow Russ's path or whoever. You know what I mean?
I think the idea that I had when I asked that question was like, because I think bodybuilding is for me, if I was a bodybuilder and I had to start like I don't know, running a bodybuilding program to improve my physique, that would mess with my head. And it did initially when I first started lifting. I wanted to build a better physique. But if that was my main goal and it wasn't strength building, I would have been discouraged after every workout.
Yeah.
Because you put in so much work, you get tired, you're pushing yourself. RP8's like on accessories, right? And then you go and you see yourself that day, that night, that next morning. You're not going to look different.
Yeah, you look the same.
But that's your goal, right? And it's like, dang, every single day, like I'm working towards it. But obviously it takes so much time to start seeing those changes physically. If that was my goal and like weeks pass and it's like, I am technically probably moving in the right direction, but I'm not going to see it significantly until I stick with it for a long time. But in that long time, like in those first few weeks, it's going to feel like I'm going to get demotivated. It's going to be like, am I even doing anything? Am I doing enough? And then it starts to be versus like, when I focus on strength, I see the numbers increasing on almost like beginning to the end of the week. If you first start, you're going to make some strength progress just because your body's not used to these weights in the first place. But once you get used to it, you'll find like your strength will start building pretty fast initially. And that progress is easier to track because there's a number on that dumbbell.
For sure.
So it's a little more motivating in that sense.
I think there's some beauty in the frustration and the delayed gratification in those things. Yeah. And that's like the beauty of lifting weights even, right? Because even at your level, you're not going to PR every week. I mean, you're a bad example because you absolutely crush all the time, but majority of advanced lifters don't like crush all the time.
I have a mental like things that I tell myself though to get through those ruts as well, like when I am plateauing.
Yeah. But like I think self-awareness comes in, and it's more related to what I was talking about on how you set goals. Because if you can get yourself to show up day in and day out knowing you're doing the right things but not winning yet, I think there's a beauty in that. Not everybody can get there. Not everybody starts there, and some people need to work to get there. But like top level powerlifting is the same, right? Like how many 900-pound deadlifts did Jamal have to hit before he pulled 1,000? A billion. Like he just had to chug and chug and chug. And in his head, he probably knew he'd pull 1,000, but in reality, you never know if he's actually going to pull 1,000, right? Like he's just chugging and chugging and chugging. And I think like top level bodybuilders love that. They love like, oh, today can't tell, but I did good. Tomorrow can't tell, but I did good. A year from now, I'm going to know it. Or
it's
when
like
I
an
cut
addiction almost.
Yeah, when I cut back down, it's going to be there. It's really delayed.
Yeah.
Business is a lot like that, right? A lot of the things we talk about in meetings or that we try to put into place that move slow or don't move slow, like they don't pay off right now, but they will pay off, and like you can't always visually see it, right? Like you can't always visually see, a little rule we have here is to like say what's up to everybody, right? You can't tell that that's going to build a community, and I didn't even know if it was going to work. It's just something we did in basketball. I saw my head coach come in out of his office when we were all warming up, and he'd fist bump every single player every single day, and then he'd fist bump us on the way out. And I just knew that made me feel good. So I was like, oh, maybe that community will feel good here. We did it in powerlifting a lot too. It's just very common. They're not very common, but it's a thing. And now you turn around, and sometimes I'm just a fly on the wall, and I'm looking around, and I see all our members, Matt, and obviously Seabass, and they're fist bumping everybody around, whether they know them or not, right? Like it is contagious. But a year and a half ago when I told you guys to do that, or we all started doing that, I didn't know it would turn into a community. And now we got a sick fucking community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so like I think it's easier to do obviously like with the business or things because they're kind of external. When it's internal, like your own powerlifting goals or your own strength, powerlifting and bodybuilding are so like intimate, you know, because it's just you and it's literally your body. And not that track and field isn't, and there's other things, but it's just so like you could do everything perfect and then show up in the bar just not move. You know what I mean? Like that's very like that hurts your soul. You're like, fuck, dude, I'm not good enough. Me.
Did everything like, ate right.
Yeah.
No one else to blame.
There's nothing. And you can't even really blame yourself because sometimes shit just happens, you know? But you're like, me, I suck, you know? So it's like very, personal in a way. So I think setting the goals definitely depend on the individual. Yeah. And that's why I'm a fan of strength training too. And you and I relate a lot on that where like you can get very jacked strength training and it's just a better way to kind of track your progress to have fun.
I guess like also setting like long-term goals as well as the like smaller goals to reach, so you know like okay, at least I'm putting these like checkpoints in, and once you reach that checkpoint, you know you're going in the right direction. Yeah, because you could also show up to the gym every day and not work out hard, and you won't get strong or build muscle. Like you might not be doing the right things. You know what is hard, what isn't hard, how do you know? Obviously coaching and internet resources help with stuff like that, but the bigger goals, the smaller goals, the medium goals. And then for some people, it is as simple as like, all right, my only goal in 2023 is to go to the gym 4 days a week. I don't care what I do. I don't need a coach. And you will get better, right? And so like, so much is just dependent on how strict your goals are is how strict the plan needs to be, right? You want to be a world record powerlifter? You got to get a coach. You got to hit every single set, every single rep. You just want to get like better because you sit on the couch all day? Just say, all right, I'm going to the gym 3 days a week. And it doesn't matter what you fucking do. And then say 4. And then be like,
you're going to get better. You're going to get better. You don't really need a program. If you show up from the couch and now you're doing 3 days of just bicep curls, it is better, right? It's a step. It is hard. I don't know about legacies, Jim. That's hard. Or stories.
Well, okay. Well,
give me examples or something.
Well,
you got something?
Here's the thing. Think about what your story is now to this point in your life. In your life. Well, I mean, there are things about mine I don't like either, but it's like reality. Like you know, I mean, I was born where I was born. I grew up in a not very, well-to-do sort of farming-ish community. Actually pretty ethnically diverse, but not like, like a high-achieving area or whatever. Blue-collar family, whatever. Eventually left home, lived in LA, so I know that experience. Lived in San Francisco, came back to Sacramento, got a couple of business degrees. I worked in the corporate world, and then when like the family situation kind of dictated that I really couldn't do that anymore, then I consulted, and then I got involved in this activity from a media perspective, and accomplished some crazy shit I wouldn't have expected to have accomplished, and good enough that other people like to other people try to claim credit for it, and that's like life. And that's actually something we did together, obviously, and then that ended, and it's like, well, what's the next chapter? Okay, well, we started another podcast. And it's not the same thing because it's a different time, and it's us, and we have different values and whatever now. And so starting the gym is kind of the next real chapter for us, and like everything that brings along. And those were not, I mean, it wasn't a goal to open a gym until we decided to do it, and then that is when it becomes a goal. But it becomes a good part of the next chapter of the story.
For sure.
And, what I want to come through this chapter with is a stronger sense of myself as a person who contributed to developing yet another community, and who is working toward like being more of a decisive decision maker, and just having a good gut sense of what I should be doing at any given time. Because that's like the last couple of years, it's been a real gut twister at times knowing what to do. Yeah.
That's so hard being business, and that's kind of like the delayed gratification thing, is like there's everything you can do, and then like what should you do?
Right.
or like what can you actually put into place. Any business really, I think, or any position you're in is more like bodybuilding and powerlifting than people think, where like you can like start the wheels moving now, but like to get something done takes a very long time, you know, because there's going to be road bumps, there's going to be other people you need, there's going to be resources you need, you're going to get emails back or not emails back. Yeah, there's very little you can just do. What do they say? You underestimate what you can do in 5 years and overestimate what you can do in a day.
Right.
Like that's the most truest shit ever. You know, it's cliche as fuck, but it's so true. Because like you can't really do a lot in a day.
No.
But if you do a little bit every day at that same goal, yeah, a year from now, cool shit can happen.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, I competed quite a bit in powerlifting for a short period of time, and my intention was never to be a top powerlifter. It was just to compete and have fun with it, and it wasn't always fun.
Yeah.
And some of the lack of fun came from the people I had to deal with, and so now I'm really selective about who I deal with. I think that what I want to be part of my story as I go forward is to reconnect with people that have a broader network of people that I actually like. You know, I mean, developing a network is one thing, but developing a network of people that you like and trust that's outside of 2 or 3 people is not easy.
Making friends is hard.
It is.
That's what I've learned.
Making quality friends is very
quality
hard.
friends, yeah. And like you get to choose those people, and I'm not particularly close with my family, immediate or extended, which is okay. But like, so I have to kind of pick and choose the people I surround myself with, and I've done a better job at that in the last few months from being here. For one, there's gonna be a button, an awe button.
We need the full house crowd.
It starts clapping and cheering. That helped a lot, but also like, I don't have a close family, so I get to choose my friends, which become my family and like become my closer circle, and that dictates a lot of like how I guess just how I am as a person, like how I think of myself, and then what I think I'm capable of. I've definitely gained more confidence, and I've networked a lot. I met tons more people just through here. Not even just like the members at the gym, which are also amazing people, but also like in the powerlifting community outside of here. Like we worked a lot, or we hang out a lot with Nadim and Justin and like JP John, and like those are great people. We found each other. And I don't know, there's just different groups that I can now like learn from, and everyone else is more experienced in this field that I'm trying to get into, with this industry, and everyone's like trying to help me out as I grow, and I feel like I'm starting a legacy. I am also really starting the next chapter.
That was what I was going to bring up about Kyle and Abby. Like their new chapters are black and white from our new chapters. Our new chapters like spectrum into this,
right?
Where like especially Kyle, right? Like you worked in like supplements and like the fitness-ish industry, and you're an athlete your whole life, but this is like a whole new world, really.
And
you just dove in.
It's foreign, very foreign.
Yeah, and you
still shit every day. I learn from people like they'll walk up and say something, and I'm like, oh, I had no idea. They're like, oh, you've been here. No, they won't say like, oh, you've been here for 2 years, but in my head, I'm like, damn. All right, there's definitely shit I don't understand, but I think I definitely have like a unique experience when it comes to like goal setting and stuff like that, because I come from an area where like baseball, obviously once that was over, it's like you kind of have to like find an identity now. So then people that create goals are, let's say like you graduate high school, graduate college or whatever, you have your degree and you go into whatever business, whatever it is. You kind of have that foundation now, like you work in IT or you do this job or whatever it is. You have at least some sort of foundation, and then you can go from there. Even like a hobby, like powerlifting or something like that. You have like that foundation. I kind of like, when I was done with baseball, it's like, well, okay, like what do I do? You know, I'm 23 or whatever, busted arm, don't really have like, I don't have schooling, stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, well, so goal setting, I think it not that it seems like bullshit when you don't have an identity or don't have like that foundation, but it does feel more worthless. Like it's more like, okay, well, cool. Like,
you need like direction first.
Yeah.
You need direction first.
Yeah.
Even if it's general.
Yeah, and then which the gym has obviously given me, and like this whole new world has given me, because like the people I've met, I'm like, oh shit, I could go do this, or whatever. And I think it just goes to show too, is like people don't really know what they're doing in life. Like I've noticed, I fucking kind of figured that out. It's like people don't really They don't like. You see people walk in, they have their coats on, they have all this shit. Like they're in the Matrix, dude. Like they're just
Everyone's
like
lost.
that's what I'm saying. So like they're all part of it, and in their head too, they're also thinking like, damn, what am I doing? Some of the time, obviously, not all the time, but like they're like, man, like, is this what I want to do? This and that. Like they all have the same thoughts. And people that you see walking with the confidence and the trench coats and like the expensive watches and shit like that, I think they all have the same ideas too. And they're like, I don't know, man. It's but they have that foundation so they can create goals. I used to create goals just to have a distraction almost in my head. I'm like, well, I don't really have, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, I didn't have the gym yet. I didn't have any of this. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'll go train or do something like that. Just because like it went from, and that's the thing of being an athlete as well, at that level especially, you're almost like a comparison to like, let's say like an angel investor. You're an angel investor. You don't have to even really put in much work. You have the money. But like as an athlete, your currency is like your skills and athleticism, obviously. So
your
you
performance.
just walk in the building. You just walk in the building, you're getting rubbed, you're getting this, you're getting massaged. Yeah, literally. Like, you're getting massaged, you're getting this treatment, you're getting that, and you just go, all right, and you just like, all right, and then like, oh, food's here. You go eat food, and then like, all right, then be back here at 6, and then, like your whole everything is taken care of.
Yeah.
You don't have to think for yourself.
And your goals too are set up, right?
Literally,
like,
yeah.
The baseball in particular is so like stat driven.
Yeah.
The team has a certain percentage they're trying to hit and wins, and then Kyle has to hit a certain percentage of strikeouts, or he's not going to play. Like it's all just mapped out in front of you.
It's somewhat like powerlifting.
Yeah, kind of.
It's somewhat like it can be a little. Obviously, it's more team based, but it can be more difficult because you have those situations where you throw really well and your team still loses.
Right.
That's whatever though. So, but then like once that kind of disappears and all that kind of just goes poof, and like you don't have that anymore, then you start trying to find certain things. And then I guess I mean I don't really gravitate towards powerlifting per se, but I've always liked to like lift. I don't know, just to train, feel good, be around people, stuff like that. It feels very natural. But yeah, when it comes to goals, it just feels like I'm just. It feels very easy to just be like, oh, fuck that. What's the point? You know, just be like, oh, like I don't like. I'm not trying to be a champ, like a world champ or this or that. I'm like, oh, okay, like that's cool. And then so.
What are you trying to do now?
Yeah, good question.
Yeah, I think
just go day to day doing this. Yeah, literally.
Yeah, I think direction and foundation, like you're talking about, matters a lot. And then like if you're like crazy passionate about something, goals are easy. Like, and I haven't really been like that probably since basketball. Like the fire kind of disappeared, but like then like I don't even have to set goals because I just know what it is.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna be the best.
That's tough.
No, literally.
Like
you just dominate. It feels good.
It just doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm gonna
good.
show up. I'm gonna play as much basketball as I can because I know it'll get better, and it's literally that simple.
Yeah.
But business is a lot more complicated than that. Life is a lot more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Hobbies in general are more complicated than that. Like your powerlifting goals probably aren't that complicated for you, you know.
No.
But like your coaching and your life and your business goals get complicated.
But I didn't know that lifting was my passion until maybe towards the end of college. In college, I wanted to change my major in the middle of it, and I remember myself. I would ask so many people, like, "What's your major and how did you know?" Because I was like, what is that? What's that feeling? And when am I going to know if I'm in the right major and all that? And then I graduated biopsychology. What the hell am I going to do with that? I don't even know. Like I just wanted to graduate at that point. But it took a while. Like I had hobbies. Like I was in band and I played piano growing up. But none of that was really, like I enjoyed it, but I didn't think it was my passion. And then for the longest time, people could say like, I would train, but I wasn't sure if that was my passion or not. I enjoyed it. And people said they could see me as being a personal trainer. I'm like, yeah, I guess. But like, what am I going to do for like when I graduate college? You know, kind of similar to you, right? You have this one thing. That was me. That was me in college. Like I had to get a degree, and then after that, what do I do now? A lot of people have that after college. They get a degree. Like what job am I going to go into? People they say it guarantees, or our parents think it guarantees a job, but it doesn't necessarily. I mean,
not anymore.
Yeah. So I started getting into. I'm going to do my personal training certification and then do that while I figure out what I want to do. But like all of that it's like slowly stepping in the right direction and then continuing to compete.
Yeah.
You know,
you got to try to figure things out for sure. And
then I got experience at Crunch for a year, and you talked about me coaching here, and then I started doing that. And then after I started working here, now I have a job as a coach, and then like became online coach with Game Day Barbell, and then now pro powerlifter. And like all of it just, you know, I just started walking in that direction that I was feeling passionate about.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
And now you're happy.
Get in there.
Jim, when you meant legacy, did you mean like what you leave behind? Is that what you meant?
I think it means like the next chapter, like what's 2023. When we're sitting here the same day at the end of 2023.
Yeah.
What do you want the last year to look like?
Okay. Yeah.
Right, Jim?
Is that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
That's definitely a component, and that's a totally valid way to answer the question.
Yeah. What's
I'm fucking old, and so I'm looking at a long book, and you guys are looking at short chapters and shit. So
I think I don't know, like if this is just, I don't know if it's me or whatever. I don't know if people think this way, but I don't really like. I care what I do for people and stuff like that, or for like my kids that I'm gonna, and my future kids, and my future grandkids, stuff like that. Like I care about what I leave for them and like how they look to me, but I don't give a shit about like how necessarily society sees me, if that makes sense. Like that's when I think legacy, but like just because like Jordan is behind Mike, like I just see the picture of Jordan, I'm thinking legacy, and I'm like, okay, like that'd be cool,
but that's
I don't really care.
That's a good example too. Like all of us say, like, damn, Jordan's so good, but we don't know him.
No,
Right.
exactly.
Like his legacy to his grandkids could be way different than what we think.
Yeah, and I don't really care. Like I really don't, unless I'm like, the only thing I care about is like, let's say I would much more care about that I built my grandkids a house or something like that and had left them a fortune or left them something like that than like being a world champion and like people respect me for being the best player in the world. Like no disrespect, obviously, but just that idea, like I don't know. I'd rather be a god to 5 people, not like a god, but like, you know what I mean? I'd rather than be like, wow, my grandfather, my father did this, like it was really cool, to like 4 or 5 people versus like, oh man, yeah, did you see when he dunked that ball and did this? And I'm like, I don't. That doesn't matter to me.
A little
like,
more meaning behind it.
Yeah, and so then that kind of drives away the whole idea of like purpose and like identity and stuff like that too, because it's like, well, I don't know, like I like that. That's where it's like kind of all kind of ties back in together. It's like, well, if you don't want to leave behind a legacy like that, what do you want to do? And then you know, start other thoughts start coming in. It's like, well, what do you want? You know, stuff like that. So
I have like a mixed on all of it because I think you can impact people in so many different ways, and so like my ultimate goal obviously is just to impact as many people as I can in the most positive way. Like people that are going through some dark shit, how can I bring some light? People that are trying to get into fitness or find a foundation, how can I educate them to find the foundation? And obviously over the last 15 years, it's been mostly online, although I've coached people like in person. I've coached, you know, gyms. I've owned gyms. I've done seminars, et cetera, et cetera. And then like the next layer to me is like the community we have here, right? And like, you know, it sprouts from me and Jim, and then it goes to Kyle, and then it goes to Avi, and then it goes into the community here. And all of us together nurtured and built that community. And I know, even though I don't see it every day or feel it, I know the people that go through these doors are having a positive impact change in their life. Whether they enjoy it here, they needed a friend, they needed a foundation, or they're just getting healthier and stronger. I know it's a net positive. And then there's the next top of the pyramid, like you're talking about, like how do I positively impact the direct people to me? How do I positively impact Jim? How do I positively impact my mom? How do I positively impact Kyle and Avi, which is like, you know, I guess degrees of separation.
Yeah.
Like I know I've probably helped some people on the internet, but I've never felt it.
Yeah, I mean, we get those feedback fairly frequently.
But even that, I don't feel it.
Well, and here's why I think that we don't feel it is that we didn't do it on purpose. It was part of who we were and what we were involved in at the time. And the change was inside them, and we were just the instigation, and some of that is just about timing, and we don't have any control over that.
I also I don't know.
You didn't directly help them lift the bar up and stuff like that.
No,
and even that, I just have issues with small wins too. You know, so some of it's just on me. Sure. Like even when we saw Rogan, me, Avi, and Sebastian, the boys saw Rogan, and some dude like half tackles me at the end of the show and starts like hugging me and tell me, you know, his brother lost 200 pounds and he lost 100 pounds and it's all because of me. Like in the middle of this intimate ass comedy show, and I'm just sitting there like trying to soak it and like feel him, you know. But it was the end of this big old comedy show and all this stuff. I give him a hug. I'm like, oh shit, you know. But like, and shout out to my mans. But like, even that, you know, just doesn't feel the same as walking in on a Saturday here, again to the layers, walking in on a Saturday here last Saturday and it's fucking packed top to bottom and everyone's smiling and dancing and having fun. Or even sitting here and Abby saying like her life is slightly better now, you know, because of Third Street. Like those are all different layers. And I think you can positively impact all of them. And I guess big chapter book legacy, that's just my goal. Like when people, not that I'm perfect, and I'll never even close to be it. I'm sure there's
you're perfect.
Hundreds of thousands of people that fucking hate my guts, but fuck them. But if I could positively impact the most amount of people in the most amount of ways, some more intimate, some less intimate, some very
Yeah, yeah.
some literally, and that's the goal of the apparel. Someone doesn't know shit about us, puts on our shirt because the graphic and the fit's dope, and they get more confident through their day. Like I love buying new clothes because I just feel dope. You know, like I feel more confident. I walk in a room different, and I know that vibration makes my day better. Like that's why I got into sneakers and hip hop culture. Like there's some cockiness in every rapper's voice that just makes you feel confident. And same thing when I dress nice. So like, and that's so far away from Mike actually doing anything. But if it's kind of like that, you know, pebble in the water deal, like the ripples. Like it's a very faint, or butterfly effect even, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just so far out there. But if it has a positive effect, then I'm gonna try to set up my goals in 2023 to make more ripples.
We didn't set it up this way. We didn't intend for it to happen. I wasn't even here. But when people showed up on Halloween in costume to lift, that bent my mind.
Yeah.
It's like, holy shit.
We call it the Car Boys, dude. We needed to name that squad.
We need to name something.
It's also not uncommon. It just had never happened here before, and it's the kind of thing that, obviously we would wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
But to a certain extent, with community, all you can do is like set the table.
100%.
And
No, it's literally. I mean, the definition. Don't steal this, motherfuckers. The definition of culture, which is something I wanted to put on a shirt, is like an environment which like enzymes can grow or some bullshit. You know, I just made that up, but it's something of that nature, and that's what we did, right? We built the walls. And we built the shit, and we dropped the, algae in here.
Right.
But then what happens from there? The ecosystem grows.
Yeah.
Calling us algae.
Yeah. Yeah, you're a little fucking.
You're a speck.
Yeah, you're a little fucking.
Yeah.
I'm a fun
You're
guy.
you're those big-eyed fucking fish. What's that big-eyed fucking fish?
Is it like goldfish?
No, yeah, but they got them like this.
They got bug
It's
eyes?
out of their fucking skulls.
It's like Dory from Nemo.
Oh, baby Dory.
Bubble eyes.
That's what they're called.
Bubble eye
Pretty
goldfish.
direct name.
That's you. Or the Christmas tree. I think I was in Vegas, and I just like go through the gym story, and like three
There's a
members
tree
brought
now.
in a Christmas tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's got the weights under it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's toilet paper on it.
Yeah, I
Like-
was gonna replace
Like they're
that,
saying,
and then
no,
I
I
like
just
it.
You got to leave it.
Yeah, I like it.
Like they're like
Yeah.
we're getting TP'd. That's what it is.
That's
what it is.
it's like
Interesting.
it's.
I call it
yeah.
resourceful. I call it artistic.
But
Yeah.
but at the same time, you can't make that happen, and you just have to put all the ingredients in place for people to
Put it together themselves.
put it together themselves, for sure, and then they own that part,
For sure.
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And
sure.
they're in it, and then they're more likely to be around for it.
Well, that's what culture is. Yeah, no one owns culture.
No,
Yeah, you can't own culture.
No.
You can't own community.
no, for sure not. And one of the reasons that I ever think about this stuff in the first place, and it never really happened to me until my best friend passed away, and I was at I was around the hospital when he died, and then a couple months later when they had his funeral at Arlington, so many people saying so many nice things about things he did that changed the course of their lives. And I thought, well, fuck, I don't think I've ever done that. And I had. I mean, I could think about it a little harder. There have been people that I did like positively affect their lives or careers. And if you affect somebody's career positively, you can definitely affect their life in general, because money is important. But that's when I started thinking I need to put more effort into this. I need to do that. And it's very common for you to hear stuff like that at a funeral or whatever. But in this case, I entirely believed it, because everything that they said was consistent with who he was.
Yeah, or you like see it more.
Yeah.
You like it's like in front of your face.
Yeah, yeah. So like I've tried. I don't put as much effort into like mentoring people as he did, but I do try to have a positive impact when I can.
I think you create those avenues, and like you probably impact more people than you think, or in bigger ways than you would expect. And I think you guys, everyone probably, I don't know, at least the people that I'm around, it's like you're probably doing more for the people around you than you expect. And there's like imposter syndrome in that. And you're so focused on bigger goals because you're always looking at the next step. You forget that you've affected people along the way to where you're going. And then the next step you're going, like you're going to do that more and more.
Yeah.
Like, so, and Seabass and I talk about it all the time. Like we were just talking about it this morning, how we kind of both started on this new journey ourselves in this career path. And a few months ago, like in the summer, we were here sitting and like, what do you think we're going to be doing? Like, what is this? Where are we going? Like, if in
That's
a
a
few
good
years,
question.
yeah, it's just like, what are we building this up to? Like, we don't even know. And it's almost like a gamble.
Yeah.
Because this could become nothing in a few years. It could just be like looking back at it, oh, that was a crazy time, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. Or it could be a bigger version of what we're doing now. And today we're talking about that, and like, we're already a few steps further than where we were before.
For sure.
You know, and let's take our time to like appreciate that and give ourselves some credit, because we're already looking at the next few things, like, oh
Yeah.
my God, stressing about, you know, bigger opportunities and more doors that have opened up. We have to like prepare for that and create more and do more, and we're busier and we're more tired, but we're excited at the same time.
Mhm.
And also, like, we weren't there. We didn't have those opportunities a few months ago.
Yeah, would you rather be
Okay.
fully rested and not doing shit?
Oh, right.
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, or exhausted.
Yeah.
And
And
Yeah.
we have a little bit of data too, which is nice now too.
Yeah.
Like I'm definitely a numbers person.
then you can start to work
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
more legitimate goals, like we
Yeah,
actually talked about in
exactly.
a meeting.
Like my mind's very like problem solving. If I have the resources and the knowledge to fix something, I'll sit with it for a really long time. But if I don't, I'll literally drop it instantly. But if it's something where I can see the numbers consistently, and I'm like, oh, if we did this, we could do this, and just like make things kind of move around the way we want. And after 2 years, you kind of see how things work a little bit better, and like, and just how I present myself to other people in the gym, stuff like that, and how you talk to people and this and that. And I don't know, I've gotten more to the point now where, versus trying to be the all inclusive type of gym, where like someone comes in and like I'm almost like trying to. This comes from like a selling standpoint, like a manager standpoint, where I'm like trying to make it so they can enjoy the gym. So like someone comes in that's not necessarily a powerlifter or something like that. I'm like, oh, we have this. Like, oh, well, do you have this? And I'm like, oh, no, we don't have that yet. And I'm like trying to like do this. But now it's more so like they are trying to buy the gym versus me trying to sell it. Like, you know what I mean? Or a membership.
Yeah.
But like they're
or like circle in a square type
yeah,
thing.
exactly. And like it's almost like now I'm like, yeah, we're a strength gym. You know, people are in here trying to get better. You know, it has a more private feel. It feels really good. People love it here. The energy's great. Culture's good. And I'm like, yeah, let's see if it's a good fit for you. See if you enjoy it. And it's more like that now. Like people are, it's at that point. So now they're asking me more, and they're like, oh man, like, okay, do you have class? Like they're asking a ton of questions. I'm like, oh yeah, let's see if it works for you, kind of thing. Like, not that I'm like trying to play like hard to get or anything, but
You don't want to
it's
be
just,
sales pitchy.
like, not even that too on top of it, and like I know what we are and I know what we have, kind of, and I'm just confident in it.
Yeah.
And I'm now confident to the point where I'm like, if this isn't for you, it's just not. Like, all right, like no problem. Because the people that do come through and then they are a part of the team. They're a part of the team.
Yeah, we got 200 people that know they were.
There's no stragglers.
Yeah.
Like there's no like everyone in here that comes through. Almost know them by name now. Almost every single one of them, and it's just different. Like they're about it.
Part of that entire thing too is that what we're doing in building hasn't been built or done before. There's things semi like it, you know, Barber Brigade, you know, shout out, you know, obviously they're my family, but it is just factual that they were like the first ones to build a strength gym that's like commercial. You know, like, yeah, there's West Side and all this stuff, but like that wasn't like that. You couldn't just go. No one can go. You got to be invited, or it's like this weird secret society shit. And for you to just be able to buy a gym membership and smash weights with some of the world's best wasn't a thing before Barber Brigade. They set the precedent on cleaning and having a clean powerlifting gym. You know, there's a lot of things, and obviously I pick their brains daily. Shout out to them for dealing with my ass all the time. I get free business consultations. But Bart and Gio answer everything. But they set a system that combined a world that wasn't made for this. You know, like powerlifting is kind of savagery, and to make it more commercial. And so, yeah, we, you know, borrowed some ideas and inspiration from them for sure. But what we're doing, no one's done before. And that's, you can say that with any business, but opening a coffee shop is opening a coffee shop. You know, like, you can put some twists on it, but there's 100 trillion coffee shops on the planet that have succeeded. And so you can steal their blueprint and go. There's not 100, there's probably not even 1,000 powerlifting gyms with over 100 members that succeed.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's new, and let alone the clothing stuff. You know, like everyone throws around the term streetwear and stuff. But people don't understand what's going on, how hard it is to succeed, what it truly means, and what they're doing or why they're doing it.
Yeah.
And all of us, you know, luckily, you know, shout out to Jim. like we've always been on the same page of why we're doing these things. And so like someone asked me on a Q&A like what or maybe it was even on Discord like what's something Mike and Jim will like never agree on.
Oh, it's in Discord.
Yeah, and I can
Wait.
only think of like dumb shit, you know, like Avatar or whatever the fuck's going on. Like movies or shit that doesn't matter, because the why of why we're building the clothing in the gym has always been the same. So then all the other shit has been kind of easy, to be honest, you know, like if you, and that sounds so cliche, Tony Robbins type shit, like know your why, but it's true. Like if we know we're trying to build a community, we know the look we want, we know the feel we want, we know who we want to be in here, then the rest really doesn't matter. You know, if we put a mural up on the wall or don't, if we put a poster on the wall or we don't, or none of that fucking matters. You know, because
Commercial break?
you need a commercial break.
I mean, we should have one.
Okay, here's a commercial break.
There we go.
He kept looking at you guys. And
What I was going to say to all of you actually is bigger than just that. We've made tens of thousands of hours of content in this space so early for so long. How many other things wouldn't exist if we hadn't done that? It's hard to quantify, but I think that we've raised the bar on quality in pop fitness in a way that almost nobody else even bothered with, starting in 2008.
Yeah, I hope everybody got that. I'll try to recap it. Yeah, my son pointed out, who's been in really for this journey this whole time, sort of in and out, not every minute of it. He was not a lot of people know, but he was actually sort of the first employee in the old slingshot world. That we've produced a shit ton of content over the years, and that content has had an impact. And like, I think I might have been the first guy to buy a legitimate HD camera to shoot powerlifting just for the internet. And we couldn't even like
I brag to
post
people
that
about
stuff.
that. I brag to people all the time
Do
in
you?
here. I go, yeah, Jim right there. They're like, oh, Jim. I'm like, yeah, he's like one of the first guys to ever put powerlifting on YouTube.
No, it was before YouTube.
Yeah, even
Oh,
before
what was
even
it?
before YouTube. Yeah.
Oh, well, then
That's how
I
crazy,
haven't
right?
mentioned that, but
Yeah.
then I'd say like YouTube. I was like, bro, go check him out. He's got a lot of views.
That's like the only reason that, not that I disbelieve Jim by any means, but that I harshly believe that that's a fact, because it was before YouTube. If it was YouTube, you'd be like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
it was Jim, maybe it was Elliot Hulse, who knows? You know,
No.
like it's kind of a. It was before fucking
Damn.
YouTube. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you just added more to my arsenal.
Yeah, and, yeah. There was definitely that, and the voiceover
yeah.
training footage, that we were definitely the first people to do that. Inspired somewhat by documentary films, a little bit of Bigger, Stronger, Faster, but it wasn't. I mean, that wasn't a description of what was going on the
No.
screen. That was just voiceover over lifting footage.
How crazy is that you did that in Sacramento, and arguably, again, like you can coin flip, but arguably the first fitness vlog is Matt Ogus, who's also in Sacramento.
Yeah, I don't know why that's true, but
Yeah.
it is. But I'm
pretty sure Matt. I mean, at least YouTubers, me, Bart, Omar, whatever, would say Matt Ogus invented the fitness vlog for sure.
Yeah.
And maybe there's someone else that randomly, you know what I mean? But
Mhm.
he
Yeah.
killed it. And yeah, you definitely probably put the first fucking deadlift on the internet.
Possibly. I don't mean not the
Because there's like forums, but like sometimes you couldn't even put videos on them shits.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that I was one of the first people to put a training deadlift on
Oh yeah, comp
anywhere.
deadlifts.
Yeah, comp deadlifts were there because, but they were, a lot of those were shot like on old video cameras and then converted, or film cameras,
Yeah.
and
Even my time, like reading T Nation from like 2009, 2008 to 2012.
I remember those.
T Nation, yeah. There
Those,
wasn't
like,
even
MySpace
videos.
pages.
Yeah,
like
kinda.
like the bright colors
Yeah.
everywhere and shit.
Yeah, there wasn't even videos in the beginning.
no,
They didn't have the technology
Mm.
to upload a video, and then later, is it Thibodeau?
yeah,
Thibodeau would put.
Thibodeau.
Christian,
Do you know Christian?
Christian Thibodeau.
No.
Different Thibodeau. But yeah, he would put, video instructionals or whatever. But that wasn't until like 2013, 14, 15.
Yeah, yeah,
So recent.
Yeah.
I was
that's-
involved in those early days too.
T Nation, yeah.
T Nation, 2003, 2004.
Yeah. I did
That's
a lot of
crazy.
reading on T Nation. Do you know
Yeah.
what it stands for?
Nope.
You're not allowed.
Testosterone.
Yeah.
Well, once you say that, I know.
I'm literally going to see a friend of mine from back then, in Boston on
Oh,
the
nice.
way.
Oh,
you know,
nice.
Yeah, T Nation shit.
Yeah.
T Nation was a good website.
We were just talking about like the growth of just media in general. Obviously, this is something that fucking every Joe Schmo talks about. Like, oh, the internet's going crazy, it's growing every day. But how we were talking about using an iPod Shuffle, and like
yeah.
even like me just having my first iPhone 10 years ago like, to where we are now. It's actually insane. Like from when the shuffle came out, like mid 2000s.
Even the iPhone. When's the first iPhone? 07? 08?
Yeah, something like that. Like something like that. So like going from like a shuffle, I think just the art of like digital media and like streaming. The idea of streaming,
insanely new,
is just exploded.
Dude, I remember my dad worked for AT&T, and so it wasn't like as big of a deal. I think we got a discount, but I remember going on my browser on my Razr phone, and it cost like $200 data. My dad just screaming at me. I'm like, Dad, I didn't fucking know. I was looking up movie tickets. I don't know.
It sucks too.
Yeah,
like
it was all black and white, and it was fucked.
Yeah. And knowing them, it like probably didn't cost so much for them. You know what I mean? But to you, it's just so revolutionary that they're like, oh, we could charge them $200 a minute because they think it's so crazy.
There was a phone way before the iPhone, and again, my dad worked for AT&T corporate, so I'd get all these phones hella early, and we get like free phones all the time. Remember when you'd have to wait for your contract and you get a free phone?
2 years.
The secret is we could do that every week.
Oh.
Because a contract didn't matter because my dad worked for the company.
Is that a secret or is that just...
I don't know. But it was just employee insider.
Just bragging.
There was a phone, dude, that like looked like this fucking safety box. And I think it was the first phone to hold music on it. I forgot what the name was.
God.
It was like called like not the speaker, but it was like something. And it had like 2 shit speakers on the side that would light up RGBs.
Oh my!
And
gosh,
it held like 5 songs. It held 5 songs max. I think or 3.
Songs.
Swear to God, 3 full ones. So I had like T-Pain's "I'm in Love with the Stripper" on there or something, just like the dumbest.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember how I got the music on there. That was probably an impossible
LimeWire.
task. Well, I think I probably had to plug it in, like literally to my computer, and then drag and drop.
Yeah. LimeWire, dude, was the shit.
What you got?
Motorola Rocker.
Rocker.
Can I
See,
see it?
speaker.
Can I see what it looks
Is that the first thing that held music?
It's the first version of which was informally known as the iTunes phone, a series of mobile phones from Motorola.
Dude, I banged with that thing.
How many songs?
Can I see what the
Did it say like capacity? Like
I swear it was like 3. Max 10.
And then
that's crazy. Remember ringback tones?
So this thing.
Do you remember that?
And so you see the speaker on the side. That thing would bang out RGBs. And look, there's an iTunes button on it. That thing was lit.
What the?
If you wanted to add a new song, you have to delete one and then replace it.
Dude, I don't even know if you could delete it.
It would
They
take
might
an
have even
hour.
had that in there.
Yeah, it would take an hour. Yeah.
It was insane.
The rocker.
How old were you?
What a sick
What
name.
year?
06? 06? When did it come out?
That's a good question.
05, 06, I bet.
05.
I was 7,
September
8.
05.
I was 7, 8 years old. Yeah.
Those were the days.
Second, third
That's
grade.
not that bad.
You know what the coolest
I
phone?
was like a junior in high
the
school.
coolest phone that ever existed. I never had it. Mike's gonna know what I'm gonna say, but the Sidekick.
Oh, Sidekick was
The
lit.
See,
Sidekick
he
was the
even knows.
coolest
I didn't have it
thing.
either though because
It was so sick.
It was T-Mobile, not AT&T.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Flipped it, right? Like
Yeah, it was cool.
would, like,
Yeah.
everybody in
Yeah,
college had
so
it, but
cool.
I had a BlackBerry.
You had the keyboard. Yeah, the first like keyboard, and it just.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
bringing back?
It's so fun.
All my
It's like
friends
a
got all the
fidget spinner.
chicks because of that phone.
You know what I'm bringing back? Because it had AOL Messenger.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's
But
what it
you know
was.
what we're
Everybody
literally
used that.
bringing back right now? We're bringing back lanyards. That was Avi's idea. We're bringing them
Oh,
back.
yeah.
Not that they totally went away, but they went away.
They did.
I'm gonna bring it back. Cell phone cases, hip ones.
The hip ones.
Bro, I rocked a before I
so
rocked
did
the
I.
fanny
I rocked
pack.
one.
I rocked a hip case. Probably at Super Training, right?
Yeah, I did too.
OG one.
I
Yeah,
rocked
yeah.
it. I rocked it
BlackBerry.
since high school with my BlackBerry.
Yeah.
That's
An
what I did.
iPhone one would be fucking lit, dude. It's so convenient. And then I felt like a Western slanger, dude. I'd fucking
I've never even seen
like a
one
leather
in
case.
action.
It's like this.
It's like OG
And
as
then it
shit.
has just
I
a clip,
know.
and then you
It's
just fucking-
it's the dad thing. Like it goes.
No,
on
it's
your
not.
head.
It's
It's not a dad thing.
When
Yes,
I
it
was rocking
is.
it, no, maybe now, see, but so are lanyards now.
We
No,
can
back then it was
add
kids.
anything.
Yeah,
in
when I rocked it,
2023.
it was like a
Yeah.
hip hop thing.
No,
dude.
back. No, it was.
What?
Yeah. Big
And
time.
it's
see-
Big
okay,
same
time.
thing. Then I went fanny pack and everyone's like, loser, loser. Fast forward 5 years, every motherfucker in LA has a side body on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
No, the phone case was huge. Huge.
The one that's
Especially with the
on-
sidekick.
on your hip.
With the sidekick,
a
bro.
leather one. A leather one.
I've never. Yeah. Okay. All I see is like a dad in some jeans with a belt and then like his shirt polo.
I
like,
put it
tucked
on my
into-
telling you,
sweats.
this is-
I put it on my
This
sweats.
This is
I'm gonna-
2009.
I'm going to buy one on Amazon right now. What iPhone do I have? What is this? 15, 14, 18?
15.
I don't know what the fuck iPhone is.
I don't know what it is.
Last year's.
I have a 10, bro.
13,
I have
12,
11.
13.
What
13.
just came out?
14.
Oh, then 13. I'm going to find a 13 hip case on Amazon.
Yeah, you got to make sure the little thing on the back. What's the thing on the back called? Those little pop socket? Yeah, pop socket.
Yeah, but
What a good
we
idea.
talked about this a couple weeks ago. There's now a pop socket from a different company that's magnetic and thin, and it doesn't disrupt your
Oh.
charging your phone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Is it built into a case?
No, it just sticks on because
That's
they're
Adhesive.
magnetic. Yeah.
These are crazy.
That's pretty good.
What is?
They're all like plasticky. I don't want
No,
that.
you want leather.
You want leather.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yeah.
have leather.
I mean,
If you're gonna
I guess.
They're like
dad something,
suede.
it's
Oh,
gotta
this
be in
is
leather.
sick.
The
Oh,
only problem is if you wear sweatpants, so it might fit a little weird.
no.
How is it supposed to?
I did that my
go?
whole
Unless you clamp
It's
it
a
to the
clip.
boxers and the
No,
sweatpants.
you just have to tie. You just have to tie your pants.
What if
Or it just pulls it down
Yeah.
so everybody can see your cum gutters.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah,
part
yeah.
of that was
True,
part of it
true,
too.
True.
Yeah, I rocked that for my entire life, Abby, until I went fanny pack. And I only went fanny pack because I couldn't afford a camera, and so I had a phone and an iPod Touch to vlog on, and they pulled my pants down. So I went, and I needed like batteries and shit and chargers. So then I went fanny pack to shove both my phones in there.
I love fanny packs. I want.
Yeah,
one.
fanny packs are lit. Well, now they're kind of
Can
dead.
we- No, they're not.
They're dead. I
No,
killed them.
people have Lululemon fanny
Yeah,
packs.
people with no style.
No, there's like I have a group of friends and there's 3 of them.
Sorry, Abby's friends, all 3 of you with no style.
Daniel, Kaylin are 2 of them.
Sorry,
The,
you guys have no style.
And then there's
No,
no
the
way.
lanyard,
They're
the
coming
lanyard with
back.
the string, obviously that
With
went
the
through the
phone.
phone.
That's
but
what I
then you
want.
put that into the phone
Yep.
holder. The
Yep.
hip.
Then it's like
Yeah.
a chain,
Oh
like
my
a fucking
God.
punk
No,
rock
it's
chain.
OG,
Oh my-
bro.
I
Because
have-
then you can rock both. You could put it on the
Dude,
hip
this
or
one's
put it on
really
your
good.
neck. Yeah.
iPhone 13, 14, 12, standard and pro models, black leather, pouch, executive.
are-
Executive.
You're a
belt.
decade older than me, first
can-
of all.
Yep.
It can,
Okay.
A decade
I-
cooler than you.
I haven't seen anyone wear a phone hip thing, but I
how
have
it
seen
starts.
fanny
That's
packs.
why I'm
That's how
bringing
it
it back.
starts. That's how it starts.
Okay.
Yeah.
How old were you in 2013?
I don't know. It's too much math.
Is it?
22.
15.
9 years ago, I'm 24. 15?
That's what I just said.
Okay, yeah.
I was wearing a fanny pack.
Yeah. I mean, everyone's still wearing fanny packs.
I know they're behind. We got.
But you said they're
how many-
dying.
How many?
you said they were
they
dead.
are there. How
they're
many?
not dying.
How many of these motherfuckers got mullets now?
I don't need to cut mine.
I don't know.
Buzz cut.
I don't know. 2. I don't know many people with.
No,
Oh, wait.
everyone on the internet's got a mullet.
Wheeze has.
They're like trying. They're doing weird mullets.
I had a mullet in 2016.
Yeah, they're.
So
they're
I'm gonna
not-
bring
they're
this
not
leather.
committing.
Watch, I'm gonna whip out this leather pack and just let's see what happens in the next 10 years.
Dude, I really
Okay.
miss those
All right.
leather. Yeah, I
I
miss
This
see
one's
that.
good. This is only $20.
I can
expect
see it
an
coming back.
unboxing review of this coming
Oh
in
damn! This
January.
one's $40. The
I-
fuck's going on?
Might be good
I can see it coming back.
quality. Might be good quality.
Yeah.
I don't know
this
about
one's-
girls. Like, I don't know.
What if
things
we
fit
came out with
weird
the
on
3SB?
women.
3SB
That would be
hip?
sick.
Dude, that would actually go crazy.
No, because ladies have purses, so like
Yeah.
you could rock this, but that's some like basketball girls would rock this, not like a
Yeah,
you know.
I remember those days.
Interesting.
Yeah, these are sick, and they really are convenient.
Well, to wrap things up, I just want to throw one more thing out here. This is kind of a that happened yesterday. I was talking to my friend Tanner from Massonomics about the Arnold, and he was saying that there are not many vendors in the expo. Like,
It sounds sad.
really not very many. And then what's the story of the Arnold Expo?
Yeah,
That it used to be the most crammed place that I've ever been in my entire life.
Mhm.
Like, almost to the point that it was difficult to breathe if you got caught in the crowd.
All
It was
the
like
test.
being in wait. Oh, that too.
So what's
Well,
going on?
I don't know.
because I was talking to Jim about it too. Like I had a bunch of homies at the Olympia, and I'm trying to get a report back to compare it to like a 2017 Olympia. Because via Instagram, you could never really tell.
Yeah.
Right.
But it looked bumping. And the crazier thing with the Olympia, I noticed, and maybe I don't think this is our bias, but obviously we're powerlifters. But all of us follow bodybuilding, right? You could probably go through every podcast we've ever done, and you could probably go 50-50 with bodybuilders and powerlifters that we've interviewed, right?
Maybe not 50-50, but
I bet you it's
see what
pretty
you're
close
saying.
with the Eric Helms and the Mike Israetels.
Yeah,
and the,
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
When-
Obviously,
yeah.
Stan Efferding. Like,
Yeah.
it's really close. So, like,
It has its
Brandon
place.
Curry
What-
was one of the first
Did.
guests on
Yeah.
for the
He did.
first
He just won,
podcast we
right?
did. No, he was
Second?
fourth.
no way.
Yeah.
They had him winning. He won last year. Yeah, Brandon Curry's a OG homie. Anyways, point is that we're a foot in there, although none of us are bodybuilders. It seemed like the show itself at the Olympia was 100 times what it used to be for the bodybuilding.
Really?
And then the expo seemed also back to what it was 2017. Yeah, like the amount of people I follow on Instagram that used to go to the show were very, very few. You know, it was like people that were presenting or like pure competitors, where this year every person I know was at the night show of the bodybuilding, which is rare. Like we've never been.
No, close a couple times.
Yeah,
We've
I've got
never gone.
invited once, I think, and I said nah. And then I got invited to the Arnold one, and I said nah. I'm just too tired after booth life. But
We
but like
we almost went to Jay Cutler's after party one year with Ed Cohn, and none of us were appropriately dressed, so we couldn't get in.
Yeah,
You didn't have your birthday suit on?
No, well, we didn't have hard-soled shoes or collared shirts.
Yeah.
Oh.
Not a one of us.
they yeah. So I do wonder what's happening with expos in general, because a lot of people think they're dying, but I don't know. I think the obviously the look of the Arnold looks weird, but who knows? Those might fill out too.
Yeah, but this is late though.
It is.
It might, but it's late.
It is.
It's like, hey,
Well,
why
I
don't you
can't-
guys come? It's like, no, that would take. We would have to think about that 6 months ago
Yeah.
if we were going to do it.
I'm kind of sad because it's my first one.
Nah. So
Well,
the powerlifting
competition
separate.
should be fine.
Yeah, it's separate.
It's
Well-
the expo.
But also, like, I can't even figure out how to get in.
Yeah, it's separate.
I think bodybuilding, like the reason why you guys do like 50-50 and like everyone, regardless of what you do, bodybuilding, because bodybuilding is it's like the godfather of like it all, because it's all encompassing.
Yeah.
Like even if you're a power lifter, generally speaking, unless you're just tubby, like, and you don't care at
Speak
all.
for yourself.
Like if you don't
Skinny-
care at all,
skinny man.
Yeah,
because a lot of people, no, I mean like they're tubby because they don't give a shit
Right,
about
right.
like
Yeah,
how
yeah.
they look at all, which is like to each their
Yeah.
own. I mean, it's just, some people
Whatever.
love that shit.
Mhm.
I think because there's a role to be played there for bodybuilding. Like even like powerlifter guys that are in here, they're trying to look good too.
For sure.
Like,
Yeah, they're all getting curls.
they're
and
all
pumps.
they're
all our
buying
dudes are shirtless in the summer.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
like
yeah.
like because they care about
Yeah.
that. Obviously, they still want to be attractive to the opposite gender.
Well,
You know what
look
I mean?
at
generally.
Look at the top three or the same
or
gender.
someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone.
Anyone,
like,
someone.
That's where it comes into play. For
Yeah,
sure.
if you look at like the top three, and I'm probably skipping over some, right? Like you can say you're a Phil Heath fan or whatever, but if you're looking at the top three like iconic ass bodybuilders in the last 100 years, you got Arnold, probably got Ronnie, and you probably got C-Bum,
Yeah.
and all three of those lift like powerlifters. Arnold was bench pressing, he was deadlifting, he was squatting. Ronnie clearly powerlifted like a psycho.
Yeah.
I don't know what
800-pound
C-Bum.
squat.
I don't know what
Yeah.
C-Bum does anymore, but
He deadlifts heavy. I've
the
seen him.
first time
Yeah.
I started following him, he was pulling 585 for a bunch of reps. Like he trains like a psycho, and I don't know if he benches or squats necessarily, but I've seen him squat 500 for a bunch, and I've seen him even on like lifting heavy to me just means like going crazy, right? Like he's on the hammer strength and he's loading as many plates as he fucking can,
Yeah.
and he's doing a hard ass set of 8. You know, like
Yeah.
that's much different than some 90s bodybuilding where like this dude weighs 400 pounds, he's got 225 on, and he's feeling his pecs. You know, like
I'm surprised.
ain't
though.
nobody stoked on that.
Yeah.
That's not the fun YouTube I'm trying to.
Yeah.
I'm surprised when when I see bodybuilders like do compound work, especially like I don't know if I would barbell bench if I didn't care about it like for powerlifting, you know, or I wouldn't
Yeah, but
recommend it to someone.
if he makes big old titties, you are.
But it does.
Not you, but a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Gives
No,
me negative titties.
that's what we're doing. Incline only now.
Yeah, me and Kyle are bodybuilding.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
you know
I have
who
not
I
seen you.
And Muay Thai. Yeah, we inclined yesterday. You can't tell? I did 3 sets.
You know who I think had like could have blown not necessarily blown C-Bum out of the water, but like even had like striations like
Give him a run.
Arnold and Von Moger.
Yeah, Mauger's
Yeah.
crazy.
But he had that. I mean, I don't, it sucks because he got injured and then got addicted to
Yeah.
some stuff. Right? It just sucks, man.
Mauger and Bradley Martin. I mean, Bradley Martin's the first C-Bum.
No, he's jacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Bradley just hasn't competed in years. That's all.
What is he doing?
See, creating
Everything.
content like a tornado storm.
Yeah,
Bradley's
he has a lot of
killing the
content.
game.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, he's killing the game.
Yeah,
Shout out
He's
to
on
Brad.
every podcast I turn on
Yeah.
TikTok, dude. Every one of them.
Shout out to Brad.
What?
dude.
I feel like I
Yeah.
haven't seen his face. Like I don't even know. What he
Yeah,
looks like.
bro,
podcast.
he's
He's podcast his
everywhere.
tits
Oh,
off.
shit.
Yeah, Brad's killing it, man. I think I was in like one of Brad's first like 5 YouTube videos.
He was just with like Andrew Tate doing some videos and shit.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah.
Mm.
Top G.
I don't know these people.
You know the
Yeah.
Top G.
I mean, that guy's the most famous guy on the internet right now.
Really is.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably Top G.
Everyone's talking about him. Who's Top G? Is that him?
That's him.
Yeah.
What is that? His nickname?
Well, that's
G,
a
dude.
philosophy that I follow, but he's also a Top G. You could be a Top G.
What is that?
Well, I'll teach you.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
So the Olympia winners were not people that I had heard of until we got down to Brandon Curry, Heidi Chopin, Derek Lunsford, Nick Walker, Brandon Curry.
Nick Walker is a fan favorite. I know Sean Clarita won. Shout out to him. He's a OG homie that I met at the Arnold fucking 10 years ago, bro. Sean Clarita won the 212s. I'm not sure on the ladies' side. There are a lot of new ones.
Yeah.
Because the sport on the ladies' side has changed more drastically, I feel like, over the last 10 years than the guys. So, like, some of these girls are coming out of nowhere. Like, I don't know any of their names anymore.
I'm gonna be up there too.
We probably could. What, wellness? Walk around like a centaur?
There was
What
some
is-
there was some
Wellness?
like conspiracy going on with like one of them, like that she actually got implants or something like that.
No, I think there's a lot of wellness glute.
Yeah, I don't want to
implant
like throw that out there,
accusations.
but like
Yeah.
I've
No.
heard about that.
Yeah,
it just did the proportions didn't make
yeah,
any
or like
sense.
there's
Yeah.
like no indents. You know, your
Yeah,
ass is
yeah,
looking like
yeah. It's just like a
smooth, smooth dough back
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
I don't
It's like
know.
a Hawaiian roll.
Yeah,
There's a big article.
top of a croissant from
Yeah.
fucking Pillsbury.
I'm saying, where's the striations
Yeah.
at? Everything else is just shredded.
Dude,
Just
some
crazy
I did
quads.
see some pictures because like the glute tie-ins, like the joke for every girl to show their ass on Instagram, and glute tie-in does matter a lot in wellness. I saw the champ. I don't even know her name, but it literally does look like someone sculpted it. Like her ass is like a different piece of a puzzle that gets shoved amongst her hamstrings.
That's the one picture I saw.
But I
Wait.
think she's the champ. I don't think they accused her. I might be wrong, but it looks fucking crazy. Like the
Yeah,
leanest
yeah.
ass I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's
He
wild.
shout out to C-Bum. That dude had a fucking
But and it had like
spicy ass
size
too.
though too.
No, girthy ass.
It wasn't like just like
No.
Yeah,
It was like the top of two football helmets.
That's what it looked like, literally. Two helmets on her
Yeah.
on her backside,
Yeah, it was
attached to
crazy.
her
Do you
hamstrings.
know her name?
No, just look up a wellness
That was
2022
great.
Olympia champ.
Her quads looked insane.
All of it.
Like,
Yeah, their
it
legs
looked
are crazy.
I was like, holy shit.
I don't know who.
Yeah.
Does what's her name still compete? Iris Kyler or what's
no,
her
I
name?
think we met Iris. I think ladies bodybuilding is not a thing.
What's Miss Olympia?
Yeah, probably. Say Miss Olympia a wellness.
What's wellness?
Wellness is the highest level of muscularity in women's competitions above figure that heavily biases lower body and glutes.
Oh,
I was pretty
Interesting.
well spoken, huh?
There
Is
you
that
go.
the actual?
It's probably close.
Okay.
It's probably close because the sports always like vary. You know, like
Why don't they care as much about upper?
I
What
think
the
probably just because ladies can't get as
That's
much
what
upper,
it is.
and also because they got rid of. Yeah, she won.
Oh.
She won, right?
I don't know.
Type in her ass. What's her name?
Let's get a close up of that.
Francia.
This is crazy.
Out of this
I just
world.
pulled up the first photo.
I feel like that's in the context is totally fine to say for this
No,
situation.
dude,
If
it's
they're on
art.
stage for
yeah, it's
that.
art.
Francia.
Hey,
art.
girl, show me your ass.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
This one?
Yeah, look at that. I don't know if that's the picture, but that's crazy.
She's like honey baked hams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's insane.
This is not weird at all for me.
It looks like two pieces of like garlic coming out of the side.
No, that's the tri-tip. Yeah, that's the tri-tip back there.
So if you want to delve into the controversies surrounding bodybuilding, particularly women's bodybuilding, there's an article in Washington Post from last week indicting some of the coaches for pushing their athletes too far, particularly with diuretics, but like also everything.
Yeah, insulin. You just
Yeah.
never know what's happening.
It's crazy.
It sucks because, like, I mean, once you get to a certain body fat percentage that's below what is normal for your body to function, like your hormones will stop working.
Yeah.
Females will stop having like their menstrual cycle because
Potential no
Yeah.
kids and stuff
and,
like that.
yeah, and like even runners too, like female runners who have a like very low body fat percentage, your body starts to like, well, we're not going to like, what is it? The period is just lining your uterus, getting ready for a potential like baby, right? So your body's like, we're not going to do that, like, because you don't have enough resource in your body. You're not healthy enough to even like house a baby in your uterus. So we're just not going to do this,
Yeah.
which
Well,
is crazy.
We had Eric Helms on talking about how like when he gets really, really, really dry for a show, it's like no sex drive at all. Like
Yeah,
totally
no morning wood. That's what happened with
nothing.
David. So
That's not even that bad, dude. Eric,
No, yeah.
I've talked to
it
Eric
could get bad.
in prep. He doesn't sleep.
Yeah. And
He'll
this
be
is a
waking up
natural
in-
bodybuilder.
Yeah, he'll
This
be
is-
waking up at 2 a.m.
Insomnia?
No, just like your body is
Yeah, you
scared.
probably have no ghrelin.
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah. So he's just like waking up. I was like, "What do you do?" He's like, "Dude, I just kind of meditate so I can doze off again."
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, these are like pushing your bodies to the extreme.
and that's like natural too. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not taking anything.
Yeah, I feel like it's worse. It's definitely worse than because you're living that life for weeks at months or whatever. With powerlifting, like we don't go through things like that.
No,
right?
no. Powerlifting's very like about your session. Like, yeah, nutrition and sleep matter, but not even close to
Yeah,
what
we're not
bodybuilding.
suffering
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
for the
I think
rest
there's
of the
something up
day.
top that's a little different in bodybuilders
Yeah.
for sure that are like that.
Yeah.
Like
It's
not in a bad
definitely-
way or good way.
no,
They're
it's
just
definitely-
something. They're like, I want this so bad, I'll die for.
Yeah,
it.
they like the
Yeah,
test.
yeah.
I think. I think
Yeah,
the
yeah.
majority of people is that they grind off the test.
Mhm.
It's unhealthy.
Not testosterone, but-
to, like, in the extremes, it's
No,
unhealthy.
it is.
Yeah, for sure.
Then it goes back
Crazy.
to like how far do you want to push your body or how far can the human body go? I think that's what they like.
Yeah. Well, I think
You know
elite
what I
on
mean?
everything's probably unhealthy.
Yeah.
You know, like it's not healthy
Yeah,
necessarily for LeBron James not to be around his kids every day because he's got to work out for 8 hours straight either. You know what I mean? Like it's a different extreme, but there's
Right.
extremes everywhere. Like
It's mental strength.
yeah, he's lifting in the morning, then he's
Yeah.
shooting, then he's doing cardio, then he's got a hot bath, and then he's got to play a game,
Mhm.
and he's got to get on an airplane and do the same thing.
But I think
while
for like-
slamming chicken nuggies.
For
Yeah.
for bodybuilding and physique and all that stuff, it's like your body's fighting to stay alive.
No,
Like,
yeah,
to-
you're
fighting
going
to
to
function
it's
properly.
trying
I think all those
Yeah,
things
yeah.
are, yeah.
But
yeah.
you couldn't like. How do you physically perform well at that state? You're performing like by posing and showing that stuff. But in a physical sense,
No,
like,
they die.
Like yeah, how do you?
No, they're not doing good.
No, they can't do anything.
Yeah,
It's-
they're-
yeah.
But it's the same with other stuff, though, right? Like
Crazy.
any extreme, you get so specific to what you're doing. An ultra marathon runner,
I was gonna say
Yeah.
like you were climbing Everest or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
you're just
Yeah.
so
You're putting your
specific to
family
what you're
behind.
doing. Same with powerlifters, though, too, right? Like you're younger and you're like in a different weight class, but like if you're so specific to powerlifting and then you got to run away from a dog, you're ripping a fucking hamstring.
Mhm.
You know, like that's unhealthy too.
Mhm.
Any elite level of anything, any extreme's probably going to throw you into a not healthy situation.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
just
just true. Yeah.
can't imagine.
Video
what you-
game player, like pro gamers.
Yeah, they don't move.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
just eating
no.
Cheetos all day. They're eating Hot Pockets. Like
That's
you hear
pretty
streamers
bad.
talk about ordering DoorDash all the time and choosing foods that are easy to eat on stream. They have no consciousness of does this have protein, does this have
Mhm.
vegetables. It's like, oh, a burrito's hard to eat on stream, so I'll do chicken nuggies because I can eat it with a fork.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Literally.
Because then their hands will get sticky, and it's
it's
their
like-
job to not
Yeah.
have sticky
It
fingies.
Yeah,
does
I
suck.
get
Yeah,
it.
because
Yeah.
it's like if they have to shut down stream or whatever,
Yeah,
I mean,
they
they're
lose money.
potentially losing thousands
To get somebody
of
just to
dollars.
feed them, like
Some dudes be having their wives do that. Yeah, that's
No,
how.
for sure.
That's what I blame my failing Twitch career on. Is not having a wifey to feed me.
Literally.
Yeah.
I can just see you sitting in a high chair with it, like controller
Love
or whatever,
that.
and someone's like,
Yeah.
wiping your mouth.
yeah.
Shout out to Nick. Nick's who everybody says I look like. I've chatted with him a couple times. Nick's a meathead, but Nick's wife will be eating him mid game or feeding him mid game.
Eating him mid game. Whoa.
Hey, you're
That
gross.
Gross, dude.
That takes some
That's
concentration.
disgusting.
Gosh, on that note,
Avi.
No wife and no bedpan. You can't have a streaming career.
Yeah, I need a bedpan for sure. Or like the NASCAR. Yeah, the NASCAR bags.
Just cut a hole in the
a
chair.
catheter
Oh,
and like a
yeah.
shit bag.
Yeah.
God, it's
That's
not-
when you're a gamer.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's when
it's
you're
not gonna-
serious.
it's not going to get any better from here.
You don't know the grind. Eating him.
All right, Avi, where can people find you?
On Instagram at avi.lu. Yeah.
How do you spell it?
avi.liu.
LOU.
Liu. Why
Um,
do you do that?
And then you can find me at Kyle.Castro with like 2 O's. I think it's
Third,
2.
Third Street
Ooh.
Barbell. Or
And then
Third Street BB.
3rd Street BB.
we changed our Instagram. It's Third
we made a
Street
new one.
spelled out.
We made a new one.
BB, and yes, and the clothing line is Good Company 3SB on Instagram.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And
brand new
Twitter.
episode every Wednesday and Friday, 3sb.co. Join the Discord, join the conversation, 50percentfacts.com to find the Discord. I'm Silent Mike everywhere you want to find me, and very happy holidays to those folks out there.
I am at the Jim McD on all the social media. This show is 50% Facts, where percent is a word and 50 is just numbers. 50% Facts is a Spreaker Prime podcast in association with iHeartMedia on the Obscure Celebrity Network. And we'll talk to you next time.
Obscure Sports Quarterly.